Thank you for joining us again. Join with Coach Fritz. We're going to start here. Breakfast this morning. We're throwing it off a little bit.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
Sing the jingle, Robbie.
I do know it. I'm not saying it. I might be the only person in the world that doesn't like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't eaten in a long time, but
Yeah, it's a
I
solid,
got nothing against Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
It's a solid 7. It's not a 10, but it's,
Yeah.
No, it's yeah. Let's get into it. Take us through the game a little bit. You guys come up 38-17 win over Langley. You talked about last week they were going to present some different things that you guys didn't see against Edison. So talk about the game a little bit.
Well, for us, I thought Langley was a great matchup because last year the teams that really hurt us were teams that were really big and strong up front and just wanted to push us around.
Yeah.
That's what Langley is, and they're well coached. And we held up really well. Like defensively, I think Langley had 38 carries for 98 yards. Like last year, it would have been like 330 yards, right? So, it's still Langley. Like the level of competition is going to keep increasing. But for us, they were one of the few teams on our schedule that tries to bully people around. The rest of our schedule is mostly athletes, so it was a good playoff prep. Can we hold up? And obviously, I think the weight room really helped us because Langley was big and they were strong. Yeah. But we were still defensively able to shut him down, and we protected Timmy pretty well. He still had, to escape a few times, but it was much better than it was last year.
Okay. How bad do I look standing right here? Now I just realized, as he looked over my head to talk to John, I just realized that. This is terrible. Man, go ahead, John.
So you got a big game this week. We've hyped this one up.
Yep.
Falls Church came off a tough loss. They played a tough South Lakes team, but understanding on all sides, they're going to come into this game as if their schedules are the same as yours, and it's a huge game. Kind of walk me through, what's your message to your team this week? They read the papers and watch the Rubber Run Sports Show, obviously.
So I think our kids have been really excited about it, and obviously that's been part of the struggle of coaching for the last 2 weeks is we've played two teams that I think everybody on our team knew we were better than.
Right.
And we're really excited to kind of test ourselves against Falls Church. Number one, because we scrimmaged them last year, and it was a really good scrimmage. It was like one of the first big tests we had as the head coach. And I think they're ready to come back out and kind of show how much we've grown in the past year. And then, they watch the show. They're excited about the little belt thing that we're doing. And I think they're really fired up to play against another team that's going to challenge us in some ways that Edison and Langley could not. You have a really good quarterback, really good running back, two really good defensive tackles that we'll have to kind of bear through for the game. So it's good. It's another game that preps us for conference schedule. And this is probably, out of our first 5 games before conference, the biggest test that when we look at it, this is the test. So we've been prepping for it. We've been able to play the first 2 games without showing a lot, which I'm really excited about. Like offensively, we've stayed in basically 2 formations and just ran about 8 or 9 plays. Haven't really shown a lot of the new stuff that we put in the off season. So I think Timmy's here. He's ready to show some of that stuff. So we're pretty pumped for Friday.
Good.
Well, so how much do you practice that stuff? You're talking about the stuff that you haven't shown. How much do you practice that stuff? We talked last week, you have a different kind of practice schedule that you like to follow. How much do you get to practice that stuff, or do you just stick with the basic stuff when you know you're going to game plan for that week?
So we always work on our splash plays. So I call them splash plays, just kind of plays that when we need a big play or after a turnover, those types of situations, we have a splash period where we specifically work on that stuff. First play against Langley, we ran a hook and ladder. It was 80-yard touchdown for Darian. So we like to do that. I think if you don't practice those types of things when there's a lot of moving parts, like it can cause issues. So we constantly practice them. It's another thing to make kids motivated at practice. Like they love practicing kind of crazy stuff. And we have a lot more stuff in there that, hopefully we don't have to use it all at Falls Church, but we'll use some of it. And, we're kind of, every day we spend at least 5 to 10 minutes on splash plays.
Okay.
So athletes are typically some of the most superstitious people.
Yeah.
After the kids got in trouble and you had that 7-minute practice, after you won the games, did anybody come up to you and say, maybe we should do that 7-minute practice again before the game?
Coach did, our defensive coordinator.
Yes.
Right before practice, he was like, what do you think about just kicking them off the field? And I think being hard on the kids is a good thing, holding them accountable, but I also believe yelling becomes gray noise at some point. Like if all you ever do to a kid is just yell, 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 fire, 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 like at some point the kids just learn how to turn it off, right? And it doesn't mean as much to them. So I don't want to do that every Thursday. I thought we had a great Thursday practice last week, so we made it the whole 2 hours. Okay. So hopefully that happens again this week. But I think they understand how important Thursdays are for us as a team now. But again, if we come out Thursday and we act the same way, like that's what I'll do. I'll kick them all off the field and we'll do it. But yeah, we have some superstitious coaches. Like they eat at the same place every Friday. Like for lunch, if we win, we always eat the same place.
Where's that?
The Hibachi Grill.
Oh yeah, I'm coming.
It's great. It's like $7.50 for
all you can eat
and have sushi. Yeah.
No, what could go wrong with $7 all you can eat fish?
Yeah.
Uncooked.
You know what? I don't know what he's angling for, but Coach Fritz comes on here. He did the cinnamon frosted flakes.
That's right.
Now he's doing a commercial for the Hibachi Grill.
Yeah.
He's trying to get those sponsorships going. I see it.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, without mentioning any names because you don't want to blow up any individual kid's head, but once the season started, now you're a couple games in. Are there some kids that kind of surprised you on the field where you were like, oh, well,
I don't care to
really made some improvements?
Like say a kid's name because I kill them so hard in practice, right? Like try to balance like killing them versus praising them. Like Jordan Reed has been like the real deal, and that's what I thought he could do. He had like probably 220 yards of offense. He had 6 catches for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's really, really helped us. Last year we were very, very Darian heavy, and Darian's still the bomb. Like he had 7 touches for 220 yards yesterday or Friday, and but Jordan Reed has really added another dimension to us to prevent people because Langley started to double team Darian after early he had broke some stuff. He had like 80-yard hook and ladder. He had a 91-yard rush, and then they started trying to take him away, and then Jordan Reed really just kind of took the game over. I think Timmy's played well. I think Timmy would tell you Friday he didn't throw the ball really well. Like we missed a couple of wide open receivers. Like we probably should have scored more than 38 points. We had 565 yards of offense. So it's hard to complain about the offensive total, but we missed a few things in the red zone. But Timmy's ran really well. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the stats. Like, last year, like, Timmy's here, so I'm going to make fun of him. He probably had, like, 30 carries for, like, negative 200 yards rushing. He's already over 100 yards rushing this year, and he only played, like, 5-6 quarters so far. Like, he's looked really confident. Sometimes I think he thinks he's Michael Vick, so he'll hold the ball out a little crazy. But he's ran really well, which has helped us. And then defensively, Jason Lewis has played really well. Aaron Busby has played really well. And then we have a transfer kid named J-Ron Bernard, who plays like the 3 and the 0 for us, kind of rotates around. He's been awesome, and he really helped us when it came to like stopping the run. He made a lot of plays in the backfield. So those are kind of the kids that just stand out right now. But Falls Church's going to be a different animal. Like, we're going to need some more guys to kind of step up if we're going to contain their little running back and their quarterback.
Yeah. Right.
So we'll see. I think we're in a good place, though.
Good.
Tim might not have had the best rushing stats last year, but his throwing form is obviously better than his coach.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's talk about that. You played quarterback. How much of an influence is your playing career on how you coach?
It's very different. Offensively, we're so different than what football was like when I was in high school. We were 3 yards in a cloud of dust type thing. And
so you're jealous.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been nice. I think Timmy threw 35 passes or 30 passes, something like that on Friday. So I think there's a plus and then a negative because that's 35 times that he has to make the right read and make the right decision because I've had my high school coach would tell you there's 3 things that can happen on a pass play and 2 of them are negative. So, that's we put a lot of faith in Timmy and he's done a really good job. Even though I think he would tell you he didn't play great on Friday. What I don't want us to do, this is what I'm worried about after I talked to the team on Friday. We won by 20 points over a really tough team, and I felt like most of the team was like disappointed. And I was like, we missed a step here, right? Like I got here, we never won games.
Right.
Last year we upset some people and surprised some people, and now because we didn't win 70-7, like everybody's like upset. So it's a good thing. Like the kids want excellence and like they expect a lot out of themselves. But at the same time, as a coaching staff, we have to remind the kids that winning by 20 points in Northern Virginia is still like a good thing. And that we are much better, but we're glad that kids want to improve and try to get better at whatever they're doing. So that's kind of where we are right now, but I think the matchup this week will kind of change it because it's not Edison or Langley. Like, we have somebody who, you know, we saw the interviews when Falls Church got interviewed. They didn't really mention Mount Vernon very much. Like, they talked about Southlake. So we got a little chip on our shoulder that they kind of didn't talk about us very much.
It's awesome what coaches will use. Right?
I love it.
Awesome.
You get a championship belt for it.
Yeah.
Talk about the student section. How they coming out for you so far this year?
So it's, you know, our student section is pretty awesome. We had a really big crowd, and last year early, before we started winning games, you know, it was kind of struggling, but now the kids have really got behind it, and they were loud. You know, I really don't notice the fans that much because I'm really zoned in on the game, and but Darian caught a touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone that somehow the official said he didn't catch, which I posted a picture on so everybody could see he did catch the ball in bounds, even though the referee swore to me that he didn't. Yeah. I just remember I didn't notice the crowd until they all started booing. Right? And I turned around and I was like, oh, we have a big crowd here tonight. So, yeah, the student section's been great, and you know, they come up with some ideas. The band actually changed some stuff this year, so they like march us to the field now. So the community support and school support of the football team has been, I mean, it's a great place to coach. Like, you know, we get treated like kings, and I think the kids really enjoy the experience.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I think we have a shark in the bag. Your kid left at the restaurant last week.
That's not, no, I don't know where he found that shark.
Oh, really? Was that from the restaurant? Put the shark in the bag.
I was so thrown off when you said that. I was like, shark in the bag.
No, we were leaving, and I was like, where did you get this shark? And, you know, he doesn't talk yet.
We were leaving, the guy from the restaurant was like, I think the kid left the shark over
I
here.
don't know who gave him the shark, but
I hope it wasn't that lady doing yoga outside the window.
We talked about last week's game. We talked about next week's game. How much of a chance do you get? I mean, obviously, you're not just a football coach, but you're a football fan as well.
Right.
College season is starting. NFL starts next week. How much of a chance do you pay attention? Do you have a chance to pay any attention to it, or do you get a chance to watch games, or how much of that do you get to do?
So, you know, the advantage of, like, coaching at Friendship Collegiate is I have so many kids that are playing in college right now that, like, the majority of, like, my Saturday or Sunday is, like, watching a former player. So, like, yesterday I watched the Maryland-Texas game, which is really good. You know, I think I have 5 kids that start at Maryland that I've coached at some point, and, you know, they played really well. I was really pumped to watch Maryland win. My former head coach, Coach Raheem, is the defensive back coach there, so seeing him run around yelling at people on TV is funny for me because he used to do that to me all the time. You know, and then I'm a huge Tennessee fan. I'm from Tennessee. They play tomorrow night, so I haven't really got my college football. Like, I've just been waiting for tomorrow night to watch Tennessee play. And then the same thing with the NFL. You know, Friendship's had, you know, we have 3 guys in the league right now, and so on Sundays, I watch the Redskins. You know, it's like watching a train wreck most of the time. But, for the most part, I try to find games like where Jalen or Yannick or Eddie are playing, and I try to watch those games because it just means more, right? Like, I really don't care who wins the NFL game. I just want them to play well. So that's kind of how, it's not how it used to be, but how it is now. I just watch the kids and cheer them on, maybe shoot them a text and say good job.
You play fantasy football?
I do, yeah.
Who was your first pick this year?
My first pick this year was Tom Brady.
Me too. I picked Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Danny Amendola. I was picking the whole Patriots team.
Half of them about to get injured.
I know. So I'm going to be great the first 3 weeks of the season.
I'm worried because he's on Madden.
Who is?
Tom Brady's on the Madden cover.
Is he?
Yeah, that's why all these
I thought they got rid of that curse.
Thank you for joining us this week. We'll catch you next week.
Yes.
Thank you to Palmer Care Chiropractics. John needs to get worked out.
You going to be wearing this belt next week?
I hope so.
Oh, no.
Hey, you should run for office one day.
We win.
I'd be the worst high school
Hopefully
coach.
we win.
If I was a successful high school coach, I'd get fired. I'd be the guy who went 12-0, won a state championship, and got fired.
Yeah, that's true. Let me tell you this. So we know this right now. John will never be on the Mount
That's
Vernon
right.
coaching staff.
I won't.
About it.
Nah, I would like that. It would be nice. Like, we like confidence, so like it wouldn't hurt my feelings. Like,
Yeah?
it wouldn't hurt my feelings.
I mean, look, I'm in line for a ring. I'm in line for a ring. Put me on the staff.
I got you.
I'll be the assistant to the assistant
As long as you're not in
strength and
charge of
conditioning
anybody's
coach.
diet, we'll be
No. The only thing I do is coach bench pressing. That's it. No other weight training, just bench pressing.
That's true. Oh goodness.
I'm a certified trainer. I can get on there.
Come on.
Oh God!
Don't give him. Don't tell him that.
Yes, you get the 8-0. I'm right there.
I got you. You're gonna wait till we're good.
And then he's gonna ask for shuttle service to the front door to Mount Vernon and everything. So be careful what you wish for. We'll see you next week.
Next week.
Around it'll do.
When's the last time you ate just plain Rice Krispies?
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean plain?
Just
Without
plain?
sugar on them?
Well, not with sugar.
Oh, okay.
I put
Yeah,
honey
no, all
on
the
it.
time.
Being the picture of health I am, I put
Yeah.
honey on my Rice Krispies. I would eat them.
I've never heard of that.
No, I've
before.
never heard of that
No?
either.
Oh, come on.
You won't put ketchup on eggs, but you'll put
Ketchup
honey
on eggs?
Rice Krispies. This is a really.
I'm gonna
weird
find
story.
out right now what kind of coach you are.
Okay.
You put ketchup on eggs?
I have.
Oh.
I don't prefer
On
it,
purpose?
but I have. I'd rather have cheese, but if I don't have cheese on the eggs, I'll put ketchup on it.
No.
That's no,
Salt and pepper, that's
exactly.
it.
No, that's exactly.
Are you kidding me?
No, we got completely derailed.
Dr. Felix, you put ketchup on your kids' eggs?
Sometimes.
I'm about to.
Yeah.
What kind of parenting is going on here? It's
Tim
insane.
Ketchup on eggs. I'm
No!
telling you,
What is this?
this has just made my day. Now I'm way happy.
Disgusting.
I'm way happy now. Thank goodness,
It's an insult to chickens.
man. Thank goodness you all won so we could start off this way this week.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
awesome. Let's get